You know what? I met Ali Sadiq. Didn't know who he was years ago. I got a picture with him. We were doing a movie, man, at Eve After Dark, and it was me, Joe Torre, a young lady, and Ricky Harris. Rest in peace. We all at this one scene, and they told me this guy is supposed to be super funny. I'd never heard him before, and he's sitting right next to me. And I think he's one of the funnier comedians that I've met. That I've heard in the last few months. He's a great storyteller. Great storyteller. But yeah, I think he's right, man. He is in certain things that it's like this right here. If you know something is messed up, you don't say nothing, everybody figure you cool with it. Silence is approval. Silence is approval. If we don't say nothing, ain't my job to say nothing about your stuff. If I come to your house, Dusty, your house is tore up, and you like your house being tore up with shit everywhere, it ain't my job to clean up your house. I may ask you, are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Why? Why you ask? I mean, your house look tore up. That's why I like it. Okay, cool. I can get my ass up out of there. I don't want to sit in your nasty house. And if I can get paid if I can get paid from your nasty house, then so be it. If you don't care, I don't care. But I tell you what, most people, you don't hear certain shit. Like I said before, certain groups you can't say shit about. Nothing derogatory, nothing even complimentary. Because they don't keep me out your mouth. I ain't want to start that shit. But you can say anything about us, and ain't nobody gonna say that because somebody making some money, and as soon as you say something and you interfere with their money, you just hating because I'm hating because I care. It's a difference.
Talk about the rap group that was part of the J Crew that tried to do what N.W.A was doing back in the day.
They had two old dudes called Two Live J's after Two Live Crew. I ain't gonna try to get caught up. And they were just having some fun with the rap industry, with the rap thing. It was like some Weird Al, Yankee Fish type stuff, and they were just having fun, being who they were. And before it hit the streets, they got a letter from the Jewish Anti-Defamation League from Macola. Shut them down. Shut them down. We ain't going for it. No, we ain't doing that. Well, it's not. Nope. We're not doing that. I saw this myself. So to sit here and see this right here, see the letter Don McMillan had himself, showed me the letter, showed me an unknown the letter together, and to see that same company was able to drop all the N's and the B's that they wanted to, lets me know something. I'm a grown ass man. I see shit from a different perspective. Money don't blind me, man. That's probably my problem. Money don't blind me. Some people get blinded by the money. I know I sound like a damn fool. Nope. I don't get blinded by the money. That's that old school mentality. I can't help
it. Speaking of Don McMillan, at the end of the day, in hindsight, 2025, what is Macola Records' legacy?
I said it in my book, and I'm going to say it again. Macola was the best and worst thing happened to hip-hop on West Coast. The best and the worst thing that happened to West Coast hip-hop. The best because he gave us, he was too greedy not to put up some gatekeepers. Me and the Unknown begged him, hey, man, give us a couple of dollars. We'll come through here and go through the shit. Unknown did it for a while. Then he got tired of paying him, and he cut him off. So he just had an open door policy. Anybody with lips could be on Macola Records. You can rap. You had a frog that can fart on beat. He ain't got to be on beat, just fart. And he'll give him a goddamn record deal. And here's the problem. The cost of making one single, one record, one album, the parts alone run you about $400 to $500. By the time you get your masters, your plates, and your labels, you are about $450, $500, depending on how fast you got them. So if you spending $500 on multiple pieces of shit music that nobody wants, you still got to pay them bills. So you got to steal from the ones who's selling to pay for the ones that ain't selling, the parts, the manufacturing parts for those that ain't selling, and you still got to pay for the ones that is selling, and you got to run a business. You still got to buy vinyl, you still got to buy pay your people to press that stuff. You got to buy boxes. You got to buy all the parts. So now you damn near forced to steal. And that's the part that made him the worst, because most of us didn't know shit about the record business. Nothing. We went to Macola dumb as a kindergartner, and he took advantage of that. And the reason why I learned, because I met a dude, Swamp Dog. Happy birthday, Swamp Dog. He had a birthday the other day, and he gave me game on how to get my money. But most cats didn't get that education. And when I went to CBS, I got what I consider my college education. I did a deal with Sony Records. So most people did not ever learn the real business behind the record industry, and didn't know how to survive the Macola era. Because I had a distribution, I created a distribution network, underground distribution network, for my last job at Record Shack. I knew who bought records, who paid cash, who would pay COD, who wanted an assignment. I knew the players, so I was able to figure out a way to survive, and that's where Eazy came to me at, because he needed the same thing. It was a lot of cats came to me for that same reason, because I could introduce you to people that can help you get your shit, get you in the stores, because Warehouse wasn't buying. Violet couldn't buy it for a long time. She eventually started buying our stuff, but for a long time she couldn't, because we didn't have the proper labeling. We didn't have barcodes, and you couldn't scan our shit. We didn't have PC codes. Okay, we just made records. So yeah, that was a big difference, dude. That was a big difference.
You'll love this question, Lonzo. Break it down. DJ Ruthless Ken says, I think they found out Macola was selling illegal albums or making money on the side, pocketing it. Was that true?
Yes. Yes. By all means. And Macola lived in Palos Verdes. I never been to his house, but I knew people that had been there. Jim Callan, good friend of mine, he lived in Palos Verdes. And I always, because people tried to sue Don on several occasions, and they couldn't sue him. One, he wasn't an American citizen. He was from Norway. His wife worked for the Norwegian cruise lines. So we always suspected that he would take shitloads of money, cash, because record business was cash and carry back then. However much cash you got, that's what you can carry out of here. And they would take the records cash and send it over to the cruise lines, to Norway or whatever, wash it or whatever the case may be, store it up. I don't know. But that always made for a interesting situation, because everything he owned was either in a trust or in a group of people that he was just a part of. So you couldn't put your hands on him. He had this shit set up real well. He made it very difficult to put hands on him. You couldn't get him where he was structured.
Damn. Art Chavez says, Lonzo, did you ever have issues with gangs at your nightclub? And what year did gangs start making a presence in clubs?
I had issues with cats that I knew, guys from Nicholson Gardens. They came to try to do some shit. My neighborhood was pretty much Anson's Park, and they all were guys that I either knew them, their brothers or somebody, or cousins. So we didn't have a real conflict. Guys from Watts, from Nicholson Gardens, was a conflict. Same thing. Well, we didn't have a problem out of Ujima Village. They were some allies as well. And a lot of times when shit would get crazy, it would be because of Ujima Village and Nicholson Gardens would get into it. And I never took sides, but I just wanted to fight the end. And you snatch somebody off, it might swing at you, you're gonna knock the shit out of them. So, some cats have been dealt with from different eras. Far as gangs actually being a major issue, it wasn't until my second go round, when I left the Eve in '86 and started doing more stuff at Doodles and Skateland, 87, 88, and I left, went on tour for a while, and things slowed down. About 92, 93, I came back to the Eve, and it wasn't, everything had changed. Everything had changed. All them suits I used to wear, couldn't wear them no more. All them nice clothes, all dude, Negro. I had to go to work every day in tennis shoes, jeans, and a sweatshirt. because my job was no longer. I was no longer a manager. I was a security guard, and me and my security team had to walk the floor. We had two teams that walked the floor. Even dark, just rotated the club constantly, just rotated to keep people from fighting. That's just how it was, man. Everybody wanted to be a gangster. Everybody was mad at somebody for some reason. I don't know why, but everybody was mad. Everybody was pissed off. And the whole 92, 93, I did it for about 2 or 3 months. It ain't worth the hassle, dude, because somebody go get killed. I went back again in 2008. Everything was different. That's when I went back into the Metal Exotic thing. And, I had the whole club, and it's just everything was different. People had grown up. But at that time, the youngsters were so disrespectful and they were so hateful toward each other. Dude, the best thing I could do was get them out the building and hope they didn't kill each other in the parking lot. And that just didn't make no sense. I mean, again, when you own shit and you see shit and your livelihood is based on somebody else's activity, you look at life a whole lot different, dude.
Yep. All right, we got a few minutes, Lonzo. Let's end with some game. Tony A, legend in the game, posted this on his Facebook, and I thought it was funny. He says, social media got y'all out here buying your body before you buy a house. What you gonna leave your kids? A nipple? I thought that was funny. And you mentioned earlier, you've been a homeowner since 22. Let's break it down for a couple minutes before we wrap the show up or end the show on how important it is to own something and, possibly leave it to your kids.
Man, when you have a chance to actually own something, my daddy told me something a long time ago. I used to buy little hook rings from the liquor store all the time, little fake ass rings, $2-3. I kept losing them rings. I'd be cutting lines. I want my ring. I just bought it an hour ago. My old man told me, he said, you buy you a real ring, you're gonna take care of it a lot better because you're gonna appreciate it. And that was the difference. I had never lost a ring since then. Every ring I've ever bought, if it ain't belted down, this right here, I got it in my jewelry box. And when you own something, you appreciate the fact that you had to earn and pay for it, and you don't disrespect it. You won't let nobody else disrespect it. That's why when I had my house here back in the day, I had gangsters from all different sets over here, and I let it be known: if you ain't coming to make no music, get the fuck on. If you come in to make music, you're at the right place, dude. I don't care where you're from. I had Rolling 60s, I had Compton Crips, I had Bloods, I had everybody here. But it was because this is mine. You got to respect it, and they understood that, and that is something that you have. But you've heard studios get turned up though. Because it's usually the studio owner ain't there. It's an engineer he hired to run the studio for him. So he has a limited interest. So when you own something, you have a different kind of connection to it. When you had to work and pay for something and you see that somebody else is going to destroy it or hurt it, or whether it be your kid, your car, whatever, you got a different attitude. You know damn well people treat hotel rooms a lot different than they treat their bedrooms. And the same thing goes back. We're going to circle back. The same reason why hotel Carnival Cruise ain't fucking with y'all right now, because y'all don't know how to act. The same reason why Carnival Cruise ain't fucking with y'all, because y'all think because y'all, I'm going to be out this motherfucking 3 days anyway. You okay? They got your credit card. They know who you are. They got all that shit's been scanned in. They know exactly pretty much who did what. If you didn't do it, you got an idea who did.
There it is, Lonzo, always dropping that game, man. Any last words? You want to hit him with that outro?
Oh, we up out of here, Doc. We up out of here. They looking for me. Hey, folks, for those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold on the eve after dark, 50-yard line at the Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit, because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace, y'all.